Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever Mac movie reviews, AMA, or what the kids will call it, the Mac movie, the Ask Me Anything, as what the Redditors would call it. But yeah, kind of just impromptu, live stream. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you got any questions for me, you can just leave them down in the comments below in the live chat. So this is kind of just me just talking, just giving you an update on what's going on with the channel, on the Instagram page and everything, with upcoming projects and reviews we got going on, and just kind of just simple, just chilling today. Just I'm probably gonna be on not that long, maybe like an hour or two, depending on who stops by, maybe, and maybe I might have some other people come in if they want to come in. It's cool if they want to, but so I guess starting off today would be have to say that last night I was part of a watch along with my boy Flicks Talk, Luke Reviews, Guy at the Movies, Film Explorer, Robert Makes the Cuts, my co-host Miss Flamingo, Alex Loves Geeks, and Brandon Critic, and Chris from Talking TVs. We had a 4-hour, quote unquote, like straight up 4-hour live stream of like it was our watch along of freaking um, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It was fun. It was fun. It's just like did not expect 10 people is a lot for StreamYard. I will say that right now. But it was just fun. I know David, he has his Flicks Talk. He's doing his own AMA in a couple minutes, like at 1:45 his time, but 4:45 for us East Coast people. So might go check his out too after this. But anyway, so I guess we'll start it off here. And like I said, if you have any questions or you just want to stop by and say hi, you can always just leave them in the comments down below. And so I guess we'll start it off with future reviews we got going on. So for future reviews, what I have in store for Mac Movie Reviews is that right now I'm working on a few things. We are now in the beginning of August. We're kind of in the quote unquote home stretch of 2020, I would say. So being in the home stretch, I'm working on a few reviews. First review, can say it's coming in a few days. It's going to be a personal review. It's going to be a soldier story. It's a classic 80s movie. It's an African American film. Kind of doing it personally. My dad he's requested this movie for like a long time, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it for him. So why not? Next review, probably going to have a review of Becky up. I watched that the other night, so that's going to be a good review to do. Then I'm not sure. I'm thinking about doing a franchise retrospective. Haven't done that since I think Final Destination. I think, but so I don't. It might be like so. I haven't done it since like Final Destination, but I'm not sure what will happen with that. So, like it may be, I don't know. I've had a few, like maybe Lord of the Rings, maybe Star Wars, Rush Hour. That's like one of my, all-time favorite. Maybe like the new trilogy of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Possibly, I don't know. Just spitballing ideas. I might do another poll asking what other film franchise you might want to see. So, or maybe Mad Max, but I don't know. Possibly Ninjas. But I have a lot of reviews. Maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Other reviews I have is a lot of maybe some original Netflix movies I'll be probably doing. I'm thinking about doing kind of a DC type review chain because I got inspired by our last podcast, our like 4-hour discussion of DC films. I just said, yeah, it's just why not just do a whole retrospective? But there's definitely a lot of views that might be coming in the near future. So yeah, but let's say welcome to everyone who's joining in on the stream. Like I said, you have any questions for me, you can just leave them down in the comments below. I see we have one person watching, so hello that one person, whoever you are. So upcoming podcasts and what's to come for them. So I was hoping to get my co-host Kristen on here, but she is busy, so unfortunately she's not able to join me here today. But other than that, I will say that for the upcoming podcast, we do have quite a bit planned. So next week's episode, we're going to do a special review of Netflix's Kissing Booth. That's going to be fun and dandy. That's Oh, it's gonna be very, very interesting. Like, I don't know, Kissing Booth is just it's a fun film. But we're gonna do Kissing Booth 1 and 2, especially since they just announced that Kissing Booth is getting a third movie that they filmed in secrecy. So that's really funny. But that's our podcast next week, and then the week after that is going to be, or 2 weeks after that, because it's a bi-weekly podcast. It'll be Tim Burton retrospective. We're going to be going over our top three favorite Tim Burton movies and all of like his filmography. So instead of like doing our least favorite and our like best favorite, we're going to just be doing our straight up like just our favorite Tim Burton films that we actually like. So that should be fun and to do. So I'm just happy that it'll just be able to just do that and everything. So it's just then I kind of we're working on something big. I guess I can probably just say it here. We are working to get the directors. We are trying to get the directors of Becky, Cooties, and Bushwick to come on the podcast for an interview. Carrie and I'm terrible with names, so give me a second. Carrie Murion and Carrie Marion. That's bad. Carrie Marion and Jonathan Millett. We're trying to get them to. We're in communications with them, contact them, trying to get them on the podcast. We are big fans of. I like Cooties, and Becky was a great film, and Bushwick is no slouch either. So we're working to get them on the podcast too. So we might have another interview on that, and then we're always trying to look for them. And then we can even talk about like down the line. Thinking about doing a special little discussion, just like kind of like an impromptu podcast, maybe like a between me and a special guest that's kind of personal with me about live action anime films and just us ragging on them. It's like, will America ever get it right with live action anime films? Then around October, Christian and I were thinking about doing maybe some horror movie themed podcast, kind of like maybe like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre themed podcast, just like different horror franchises, maybe like horror monsters. We're not sure yet, but we're just like we'll think about it more as October comes. But that actually leads on to the next thing I wanted to talk about: more film commentaries, maybe. So, if you have listened to the podcast, you know that I think early June we did a podcast where we had a special podcast and we did a commentary on The Fanatic, Fred Durst's film that stars John Travolta. So what will probably happen is that we're discussing more films to do commentary, and I just think that will definitely be an option. We had so much fun just doing that. So I have no idea what film. Like we have a film we want to do, and that's Texas Chainsaw Next Generation, because that movie is just completely just wacky and just funny as all hell, and then just it's really really funny, and it's like it's gold. It's really gold, and it's definitely one of the better. Just like it's just good. So we might do a commentary on that. Not really sure whether commentaries on films we can do, but we just have all these. We're definitely going to try to do more commentaries for watch-alongs. I've been thinking about it, but I just don't know how to do it because I would just have to see about maybe upgrading StreamYard so I don't have this logo and then have more of my own like personality into it. So that would be cool to have. But so more commentaries will probably come. So probably the first one would definitely be, if it's not before the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe like next month. But hopefully it'll be fine. It will be fine. But yeah. Hello to everybody who's watching the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Just going over some stuff for the channel and the page. And I got an announcement to make is that I am now a working man. I am working now at Dollar Store. So there might be a slowdown on the actual written reviews. So I don't know, maybe so. If there's a slowdown on written reviews, then like it won't be by drastic, but the podcast should keep coming and rolling because it's a bi-weekly format because I switched to bi-weekly format to just to not get stressed because when we first started doing the podcast, it was like we were just doing it every week. It was like we record every week and I try to get it up and it just took so long. I would just edit it by like Friday. I was just trying to get it up and it's just like, yeah, I'm switching to bi-weekly. So it was just good to see it like that. So yeah, so I'm working now. So I start Tuesday. Hopefully that hours are respectable but not bad. So, but like I said, if you have a question for me, you can always leave them down in the chat below and I will be answering anything you guys send to me. It's an ask me anything, so go ahead and ask me anything. But yeah, let me see. I guess let's look on what's going on in the film news. I'm going to be looking on my phone right here and reacting. And right now, I can see it right now, is that our boy David, oh my freaking, my screen is so bad. Our boy David Flickstock, he is live right now. For his own AMA. Because it is Spider-Man Day, by the way. Happy 57th birthday. His first comic book was published today in 1962. So freaking, I always remember my first Spider-Man experience. That's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. It's freaking, it's like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. It's just like Spider-Man 2 will always be the greatest Spider-Man in my. Oh no, Spider-Man Spider-Verse is close second, but Spider-Man 2 will always be like the greatest Spider-Man, and it's just like nothing can top it. Nothing can top that film for me. It's just like Spider-Man 2 is just a great film all around. But let's go on Screen Rant right now and let's see what's going on in the film news. And I guess other news is that, like, did you hear that TikTok is gone? Thank Christ. I'm sick. Like, oh my God. Thank Christ that TikTok is no more. Let's go to movie news on Screen Rant. Once again, if you guys have a question, you can leave them down in the comment section below. So, oh yeah, I guess that's one thing is that Beyonce's Disney Plus film Black King, it debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a perfect score. So I think it's a certified fresh 100%. So good for her. I'm not really a Beyonce fan, so good for her. Let's see. Oh yeah, I found this out yesterday. It made me so excited. Courtney Cox, she announced on her Instagram yesterday that she's coming back to Scream 5. Yep, the Scream sequel that's going to be coming back is going to be just like, I can't wait for, like, I don't know. Scream for me, it's like, okay, how would you guys rank the Screams? Because I rank it from 1, 4, 2, 3. 1 is the best. 4 is not. 4 is like second. Second one's like, it was ambitious, but it's like didn't really take that big step. And the third one's just trash. But like, I don't know. It just feels weird because this is gonna be the first one without Wes Craven in it because he passed away in 2015, I believe. And it's like, it's just weird to me that Wes Craven, it's just like, I don't know. But they have David Arquette back as Dewey, and they have Courtney Cox back as Gail. But I am curious to see how, like, if Nev Campbell's coming back, because I think Nev Campbell is like one of the she's the only one that's like not straight up said like, yeah, I'm not coming back. So who knows? Maybe she'll come back or something. But yeah, what's a film you guys are wanting to come back? Because I really want. I don't know. I just like I don't know. It's sequels are pretty unnecessary for me sometimes. But like I don't know. But um, let's see. Let's see if we can find any new film delays. Film delays. Can't believe I'm gonna go on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Let's see if I can share my screen. Hold up a second, guys. My live stream seems to be not working. All right, and we are back up and running. All right, so screen sharing will not work. We have a question here from S. Hay. She asks, "Hey Mac, what do you think about the on the water in a boat drive-in movie theaters?" So, with the drive-in movie theaters, I am actually excited that the drive-ins in this whole pandemic situation. I'm actually happy that they're able to like be able to contribute in this climate right now for the drive-ins. So like, it's just happy that the drive-ins are able to sustain their businesses and such. The on the boat, however, that just sounds so kind of stupid to me. I just don't know how that would like how would that work? Like, okay, I'm YMS. I remember he made a video. It's like hot tub movie theater or something. Your movie suck. He's like hot tub cinema. You watch movie theaters in the hot tub, and it's just I don't I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know, but I remember when Christian was on the first podcast, she was telling me about she was saying about how all the movie theaters being open is just really great for business, and I just really agree because Before this, it's kind of like cinemas. It's just you just go to the homegrown auditorium cinemas, and that's really it. That's all you'll go to. And with the drive-ins, they're just an afterthought because not too many drive-ins they're all independently owned. It's not a big monopoly. They're all like either family owned or just individually owned. So now with this whole pandemic, and you can't really go to all the theaters are closed, and the drive-ins are the only viable option if you want to actually go out. It's kind of just the way to go to just like be able to, you know, to just go to the movies. But they're supposed to be opening the theaters up because Tenet's coming out at the end of August. But who knows if like end of August for the UK and like around the world, and on Labor Day, September 3rd, that's when it's going to come for like us and everyone else. So who knows when that's going to come for us. But yeah, but boat drive-ins, a little iffy on that. I'm gonna say your viewer. But so since it's Spider-Man Day, I figured, and that not really too many people are watching, I'm gonna talk about something. Is that favorite Spider-Man film? So my favorite Spider-Man film is I'm gonna have to say it's definitely a tie. I would never have said this like years ago, because originally I would always say Spider-Man 2 is just like the greatest superhero movie of all time. And I know all the Marvel people, Avengers, would be like, "Oh man, you just like Avengers and everything." But like, listen, Spider-Man 2 is just perfect. It has everything to it. It has a great story, great character art, great emotion, and like the raindrops falling on my head, just the greatest sequence, and it's quotable. The original Spider-Man trilogy, Sam Raimi trilogy, is just one of the most quotable like film. It's like one of the most quotable films of all time. Like, no, not to discredit Tom Holland, because Tom Holland is a good Spider-Man too, but like more people they quote Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man more than Tom Holland, or they don't quote like freaking or they don't quote, um, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Like, I know people they like those Andrew Garfield movies, but it's just like, who's gonna watch Andrew Garfield movies? It's like, hey, who wants to go watch the Amazing Spider-Man? But it's just like that's dumb. But after seeing Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse when it first came out 2 years ago, Into the Spider-Verse is just like it's very special because like Into the Spider-Verse was just like at this you gotta understand at this point Sony was a laughing stock because Sony they had the hacks. We were supposed to get the Popeyes movie, we never got it. We had like the Gendy Tartakovsky like he was wait they get yeah it was a Gendy Tartakovsky. He was supposed to do the Popeye movie, but that got canned. And Lauren Foss was supposed to do a Medusa movie that didn't happen, and then the Emoji movie before that. So then Phil Lord and Chris Miller came in and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna do Spider-Man and Spider Verse," and like everyone's like, "Oh!" And the trailer came out. I was like, "Whoa, this animation is kind of cool." And then it came out. It's like, this is really good. Soundtrack's slick. The characters are cool. The art design, it's just everything in that movie was just like, and it's meta, and like because all these we've had one, two, three, like four Spider-Man. We've had four Spider-Man like reboots, and it's just like this one just makes fun of that, and I just love it. It's just this is such a meta Spider-Man film, and it's perfect. I love it. So it's a tie between Into the Spider-Verse and just like Spider-Man 2, but I don't know, man. It's just it might have to be like Spider-Verse trumps it for me because it's just cool, and I can't wait for the sequel. Definitely. It's just I really can't wait for the sequel. But like I said, hi to the people who are watching this. If you have any questions, you can leave down in the comments below. This is just an impromptu live stream. Just gonna be on here for as long as I feel like it. As long as I keep rambling about random film, TV, world stuff, mostly film, because that's what I feel comfortable talking about. Is my happy place. So yeah. Got any questions? Just leave them down in the comments below. So Yeah, you know what film I watched a couple days ago? Freaking Josh Trank. I gotta talk about Josh Trank, man. Um I watched I watched Chronicle, and it was like the first time in like I want to say like first time since my junior year of high school I watched that movie. Or no, freshman year of high school I watched that, and I would like watch it, but it was like the first time in like a while. And I love Chronicle. Chronicle's a great movie. It's definitely a unique twist on the found footage genre, and even though it's like a studio film, it feels very low budget, and like it's just it's just a great film, and it's literally Akira. It's Akira, the live action Akira movie that who knows that we might not get. Although Taika Waititi's doing the Akira movie, this is the one we're gonna have to go with. But Josh Trank was he was pretty much I think this film Chronicle was his debut film. It was his debut film. It was written by Max Landis too, and it was the highest grossing. Let me see. It was the highest grossing film for a debut director. And if I can go on Box Office Mojo real quick, I believe Chronicle made $126.6 million dollars out of its $12 million budget. And it received a nomination for Best Science Fiction Film at the 39th Saturn Award. So that's pretty cool. That is really cool. Um, But anyway, so Josh Trank, he was pretty much like a new hot and upcoming director. So, after you make a film that's like a hit right off the bat, all the studios are gonna be like, man, we want that director to be our like we want him to be on our studio. We want him making our films and everything. So yeah. So Fox or was it Fox? Yeah. The studio, they said, yeah, what studio made Chronicle? I am like blanking. I'm so stupid. Oh, yeah, it was Fox. Fox was like, "Hey, we want a Chronicle sequel," and they said, "Oh, Josh Trank said a few years later, he said like, nah, I really don't want I don't want like a Chronicle sequel at all." So he said he would like delay it and everything to not like want it. So he was offered a Venom movie by Sony. He was offered a I forgot the Russian, I think KGB adaptation movie from DC, and he was just offered a lot of different films from different studios. But Fox, they said, "Hey, you want to be our director? We got to make a Fantastic Four movie because Fantastic Four, as you may not know, they've had up to this point in 2014, they've had three movies. They had the one in 1994 directed by Roger Corman, which they were contractually obligated to make to keep the rights to the movie before the rights went back to Marvel, but they were contractually obligated to make the movie, but they were not contractually obligated to release it. Although, so that movie was never meant to be released, but it has been circulating the film festivals and like internet. It's like on the full movie's on YouTube. You can just watch it. That might be a watch along. That'd be fun. But another one is then you got the 2000s ones with Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis, Ian Grudford, and Jessica Alba. Those ones were like I don't want to say they're terrible. They're just like they're kind of just but it's like they could have been better. They're just cheesy. They were made by a comedy director, so what do you expect? So it's time to make another movie. They're like, hey, so you just did Chronicle, so we want you to make a we want you to do a Fantastic Four movie, and to kickstart our own little like Fox universe. And not only was this going to be a rights retaining movie before it went back to the rights to Marvel, it was supposed to kick off like this whole universe for Fox for like X-Men and Fantastic Four because they had a cast photo because this movie had Tobin, no, it had Toby Bell, Miles Teller, Kate Mara, and Michael B. Jordan, and they took a cast photo with the cast from X Men. Then like Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit. I don't know when that movie's gonna come. So they were like hyping this movie up. So Josh Trank's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And at this time, he got like cast. He got like picked to do a Boba Fett side story for Star Wars for Disney. So he was on top of the world. So then they start this movie, like the production, and literally it's hit with problems all over. There's stories that he didn't want Kate Mara to play Sue Storm, so out of spite, he casted Miles Teller as Reed Richards, but he threatened to fight Miles Teller on set. So that's funny. You cast someone to go against the studio, and then you threaten to fight him. Apparently, when they were shooting at one of the locations, the rental house, his Josh Trank's dogs apparently like destroyed the rental home apparently, so that's interesting. Multiple like reshoots had to go on. The trailers were very just like randomly put out. I think the second like full length trailer was released on a Sunday, and trailers aren't supposed to release on Sunday. It's supposed to release like during the week, like on a Friday, Thursday, like night too, like the prime time that people are online. And then like it's just, and then the casting, people like Miles Teller's too young. Michael B. Jordan's black. Why is Michael B. Jordan playing a white character supposed to be not played by a black man? It's just dumb. And then they defended it by saying, "Well, we're just trying to reach into the demographic." So it was like putting out a fire with kerosene. So it was not working. So August rolls around to 2015. And a week before the movie release, like screenings are going on, and this movie's getting like destroyed by like pre-screening critics. It's like this is like the worst Fantastic Four movie. And if I can find Josh Trank's old tweet, I think he's tweeted, but tweet about because Josh Trank tweeted this a week before Fantastic Four. And it pretty much summed up that entire movie, like in a nutshell. Okay. He said this. This was written August 6th, 2015 at 6:43 p.m. A year ago, I had a fantastic version of this, and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality, though. If it can come up on screen. That's Josh Trank's tweet. With this tweet, he pretty much said, "This is not my movie. Screw all of you." So yeah, with that tweet, that kind of just said this movie's doomed. And Fantastic Four 2015 bombed hard. And when I mean hard, it legitimately like tanked at the box office. There was no hope. It was literally dead on arrival. There was no hope. And if I can look it up real quick, Fantastic Four. Look at the return that it made. Its budget was 120 to 155 million dollars, and made 167.9 million dollars. So that was that, and he was kind of blackballed from. He was not blackballed. That's not really a good word to use. He was blacklisted because word got around. Fox said to Disney like, "Oh, he's not going to do what he's told because he's problematic because there's stories that he came drunk to set. He fighting the cast. He's closing himself off. He's not a good director." So Disney said, "Yeah, so you're not doing Boba Fett." So Josh Trank takes a leave. He kind of deletes social media for a while. He doesn't really do any films or nothing for like 5 years. And on his Instagram, I follow him, or like if you follow them for like the past like even now, I think, or like recently, he would just like all the films he said in his bio, you know, all the films that he has directed. And after Chronicle was Fantastic Four, but after Fantastic Four was just panned and just tanked, he just put stars on where it was because he just wanted to forget it until like 2019. He finally like did a letterbox review, just kind of like coming clean. It's just like, listen, this movie was just a bad disaster overall. I'm sorry that it had to come this way, yada yada. So now he's doing better. I'm happy for him. Uh, if you weren't sure, he recently did a movie with Tom Hardy. I was tracking this movie like 2 years ago. It's called Fonzo originally, but now it was retitled Capone, and it was follow Al Capone after he got out of Alcatraz, and he was dealing with syphilis. Although all the reviews saying it was dementia, but it was mostly syphilis because I thought that's what Al Capone really had was syphilis. But it was met with negative reviews. Although I watched it and I'm like, it's pretty okay, and like I thought it was decent. It was better than his last movie, but I guess that's not a good comparison. But yeah, Josh Trank's career has taken a very interesting turn. Um, he's supposed to be doing a TV show with Tom Hardy called FBI, like a CIA TV show. So who knows what the future will hold for Tom Hardy. So I think we will end it there. I got really nothing else to ramble on. I kind of got over the thing. This was impromptu and kind of like an update of what's going on. For everyone who tuned in, thank you. And if you're watching this replay on my YouTube, I want to say thanks a lot. So I would say tune in for next week's podcast when we do the kissing booth. And if any questions for us, you can just leave them down. If you have questions for the podcast, you can just leave them down on the comment of this replay and leave them at start off with the word question. Start off with the word question and just leave for the podcast and I'll pick it out. Or you can just look out for our me and Christian's Instagrams and just leave out for like questions for the podcast and we'll pick it out. And next week we're doing the Kissing Booth movies, so that'll be fun. Or if you have any news, send it to my email at amirm@gmail.com. So I will see you guys next week and thank you for tuning in. See ya.